Welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danica Foley. With me, we have Mac Wade, who is the executive director at the Port of Morgan City. Always want to talk about the good news. God talk about the good news, but here we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't know if there's any ugly just yet, but we're going to keep talking. Good news, we got money, cha-ching. Let's talk about where we're getting all this money from.
Danica, right now, this has never happened before. We have 3 dredges currently operating right now under the Corps, under our contract down the river. That's about $32 million under contract right now on those 3 dredges. The most we've ever had was 2 dredges working at a time, and that would include one up here and one down below.
Right.
Today we have 3, and we have another one coming in about the middle of September. That will be working for Berwick Harbor. So that will give us 4 dredges running. In fact, about 2 weeks ago in Dredge Wire, which is a weekly article that comes out all across the country, all across the world, top 10 stories of the week, Morgan City happened to be the #1 story of the week.
I need to get my hands on that.
4 dredges coming to and working in Morgan City. So it's taken a lot of work. Thanks for the Corps support, recommending what we get, and thanks to our congressmen and senators up in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
We received a lot of money. We got a lot of money being spent.
So let me ask you now, you said, of course, you're right to thank those who help. So this is their work. This is not through grants.
This has nothing to do with grants. Okay. This is just money coming from the federal government. That's the Port Priority Program for the Corps of Engineers. The Corps of Engineers recommends so much money. We always have them, we're begging them, please put our name in, please put our name in, and they put our name in for these projects, but to have 4 dredges working at the same time, that's pretty good. That's real good. They're
giving us this authorized depth that we need, right?
Yes.
So we're going to start getting, more and more vessels coming in.
The Great Lakes, Alaska just went to work. I think, last week it went out. It's a cutter head. It's a big cutter head. It's out at Eugene Island right now working. Eugene Island is at the mouth of the river about 5 miles out offshore. It's working there, working its way in, getting the sand out. And we have Bryce, which is the specialty built dredge that's been working for over a year. It's out in the bar channel where the fluff material's at. The fluff material, they've got that channel at about 250 foot wide, 22 foot deep. And I mentioned last time, and I want to get Cindy over here so she can tell you about this MARAD project coming in, Marine Highway System. That's MARAD. It's a big government agency up in Washington. They're going to come down because in November, this channel is going to be open all the way, which we haven't had that in a long time.
This makes me think of Carnival cruise ship. We got the depth, we've got, all that. It sounds like we need to have one of these big liners come through.
But we're going to be able to take ships again like we had before. We're going to be able to do import and export. MARAD, the Marine Highway System, which they're pushing, try to take more stuff off the highway, put it on barge, put it on waterways. They're pushing this, and they're federally funded. And they're coming down here. We're talking with the different companies all up and down the Red River. They want to be able to ship products down here to Morgan City, unload them, put them on a barge, put them on a ship to go out, or bring stuff in from the Caribbean, Mexico, bring it into Morgan City, unload it, put it on barges, let it go up the Red River.
That sounds like a plan. I like that.
Yes.
And speaking of all this money we're getting, we've gotten some additional monies, I think $15 million. That's a lot of money for more dredging, right?
No, that's not for dredging. That's not for dredging.
For the dock, to expand the dock.
Yes.
So doubling the size of the dock that we already have there, which means more ships can come in.
More ships, we got more space.
Now tell me about this money, because $15 million, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. This past Friday, me and Mike Noblock went down to Jefferson Parish. The Joint Transportation Committee for DOTD had their meeting. There was 3 projects on the agenda: Port of Morgan City, West St. Mary, and Lake Charles.
Okay.
Only 3 applications went in. All 3 applications were approved.
Okay.
So it's taken a while to get all our documentation, get all our paperwork, but that money was approved on Friday. That's big. That's $15 million that we're getting from the state. The project we're going to do at the docks, $18 million, but 15 of it's going to be provided by the state. The port will provide $3 million, so it's an $18 million project.
Okay, I want the breakdown of this.
Yep.
'Cause this is what we do here. We talk about the
Yep.
breakdown.
Yep.
We're going to get to that. Y'all come on back right here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danica Foley-Long, and with me we have Executive Director with the Port of Morgan City, Mac Wade. Talking about that money, let's get to going about this money. We're talking about $15 million from DOTD.
Yes.
For doubling the size of the dock.
Yes.
And my question to you was, where is this money coming from? And because the project calls for $18 million.
Right.
They're going to give us 15.
Yes.
However, let's talk about the breakdown.
Yeah,
of this money.
yeah. Danica, and good question. The governor puts $40 million a year in DOT port priority funding. Now, they put money in for airports, they put money in for highways, but ports in Louisiana, they get $40 million. And you don't get $40 million, you have to apply for it.
That's right.
And
This
you know,
is
it's a port priority program, a grant, or not a grant, but a program. So we did apply for it. We had to turn the application in June. It's got to go through rigorous review. The economists have to review everything and make sure what's the return on investment, you know, all the ratios and all that. And if you can get by the economists and your plans and everything are acceptable by the DOT for the engineering, then you got to go before the joint committee. So many senators and so many House members in Baton Rouge meet and they vote on the projects. This past Friday, we were one of the ones that got voted on.
Let me tell you something. We know government timing.
Yeah.
Government does not move in a matter of months. They move in a matter of years. You said you put this in June.
Yes.
We're in August. That's not really a long time.
No, and they take applications every so often, and it was very important. They take applications only 4 times a year. We missed the first go around. I pushed real hard to get this in June. There's only 2 people applied for money in December, and they were awarded. And the next round was in June, so we got ours in. And a lot of work takes place to get all that. A lot of work takes place, but we pushed to get that in. And a lot of people say, "Oh, so they're going to write you a check for $15 million?" No, they don't write a check. But it's not bad news. The state basically gives you an IOU, because you got to remember, you get in line as our application is approved. Well, you got $40 million back, but they approved $100 million. You get in your pecking order, and every month, or as the projects move up where you're on the chart, you get closer to getting your money. In about 3 years, we will receive the first $5 million of that $15 million. And well, Mac, what are you going to do? The project we're going to expand at the dock, we're going to spend $18 million. The port will basically probably have to fund maybe a third or more of that until my first $5 million comes in. Then in year 4, you get another $5 million. This dock expansion we're doing, it's going to be probably a 3 to 4 year project.
Okay, so you're going to put down about 6?
We'll put, yes.
You'll put down 6 of your own money by year, but that's for over the course of 2 years?
Over the 2 years.
Okay.
But we also have monies coming in. And Danica, that's the West Dock expansion. The port is we're fixing to invest $18 million in the West Dock expansion. Met with our engineers yesterday. We will be going out for bid because I've got another $5 million that DOTD gave us.
Let me tell you, all this money, you better have a hell of a bookkeeper.
That's right, it is.
I'm getting lost here.
It's 5. We're fixing to do the East Dock. That's $5 million. That's DOTD money. But my money is available in December. You got 5 years to do a project. I don't want to say we held up, but we took our time getting this East Dock done because I wanted to wait and get closer to my money. Do I have the money to do it? Yeah, but I got to have something in my checking account. We still got to operate.
That's right.
So we've been waiting. So within about 6 months, the $5 million's available. The $5 million I'm going to spend. So we won't be out of pocket anything. So
Okay.
you got to watch it constantly. You
Yeah.
know, your cash flow over the next several years and everything. But we got that under control.
Now, we've talked about the $15 million with
Yes.
that. We've also talked about already right now we have at least 3 to 4 dredges going simultaneously.
That's right. That's
so
right.
that's money that
Yes.
has to be for
Yes.
that. But is there more money that we're looking at?
We're
We're going to take a break, though.
Okay.
Because I know there's some more money that we got to get to. You know,
Yes.
we're counting the dollars here. Y'all come on back right here on the Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Again, my guest is Mac Wade, who is the Executive Director with the Port of Morgan City. Let's get back to the money because I'm trying to keep track of all the money. This is great news. I mean,
it's
you know,
very
because
good news.
I want to say this because I don't care who's in office, okay? If they're doing right by the people,
That's right.
that's what I worry about the money.
That's right. That's
And,
right.
and right now, you're saying we're getting kind of like hand over fist right about now.
We are getting money to get this channel open. I mean, you know, the Planet Corps always said, well, you don't have any business. I don't have any business because you quit dredging us.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get the ships in. I had ships coming in. When the river silted up and you
Yes.
didn't get it dredged, the ship stopped. That's
and let's
not my
knock
fault.
on wood. We have not had a hurricane. Oh my,
Oh,
please, let's not
I
have
know
one.
it, I know
but
it,
we-
I know it.
But because we have this constant dredging, so I don't want to get off
Right,
mark here.
right.
So go back to the money, okay? So we have more money
Yes.
that we still have yet to have. We did not spend from prior years.
We had money left over from 2020 in our O&M account, which we rolled that into 21 on a contract, and then we had money. Then we took that and rolled that in, and those two combined was about $40 million. We've been very fortunate the last few years. Like I say, in the president's 2022 budget, which will come out October 1st, we will get $16.3 million. Now, that's not 40 million, but we got 2 more chances to get more money added to that.
Yeah.
I normally get about $4 million. Well, where do you get all this other money? Because there's work plan money, there's supplemental money. Just because the president he may say, we're not going to give you anything. Work plan's coming out, I can get some there, I can get some here. So you keep adding that. So, but I was very pleased to know we're starting off at 16.3 and I got 2 more chances to grab money.
Yeah. I mean,
And
right
we're
now,
gonna be grabbing
and this is a very competitive field. I mean,
Yes.
we're going up against people like Port Fourchon,
Oh,
Lake Charles. I mean, we know what's going on in Lake Charles. I mean, they're even just
I got
trying
Lake
to.
Charles on one side,
Yeah.
I mean, which is about the 12th largest port, and I got the Port of New Orleans on the other
That's
side.
right.
I'm saddled between. That's tough. But we have been making our point, and our congressional delegation must have been listening because they've helped us get money.
And let's just be, and I got to keep it real.
Yeah.
So at this point, there's no excuse we should not be able to get some of those ships to come
We
in
can
at
get
this
business
point.
back in this
Right.
area. That's right.
And so speaking of business, let's talk about, we just had Evan Boudreau, our Economic Development Director
Good
for St.
man.
Mary Parish, came in here, and look, I was getting like a school child when he said that there are at least 2 companies that are slated to come to Morgan City, St. Mary Parish, but Morgan City particularly, at the least, at the minimum, 300 jobs between the 2 companies.
I have met with Evan. In fact, even met with one of the groups that came in with Evan. He brought him by because he wanted the port was there to support his efforts and the other landowners' efforts, you know, and talk about the area, what we have going on, to let them know that the channel that we've had problems with, it's being cleared as we speak, and there could be opportunities. We have rail. We got the only rail in the area.
And you just spent money to upgrade the
Yes,
spur.
yes. We spent about
a year
$700,000,
ago.
$800,000 over
Because
a
the
year
port
ago.
is more than just dealing with the river or
That's
the
right.
waterways. I
That's
mean,
right.
you have the railway.
And Danica, I'm glad to say, of course, we're always looking for money. And I don't want to say free, there's nothing free, but when Port Priority can come out, and we did that, we spent $700,000 on that rail. About 560 of it was paid by the state to let us get a new upgrade in there and put new lines in and and give us access for about another 16 cars that we can unload.
So these 2 companies that are coming, they're going to need access to all of that.
All of that,
Well,
waterways.
yeah. So is there room at the port, or are they looking at other
They're looking at other
land?
sites.
Okay.
Now, the rail, they can't. They're going to, if they need rail, well, you got to, it can be unloaded there wherever you want it to go.
But that's a lease that they
That's
would
a
have.
lease. That's
Okay,
right. That's
right,
right. That's right.
okay.
So yes,
Okay.
they got rail capabilities. We can help them with the waterways. They're meeting with different tenants and everything in the area. So, and like I say, I think the last time I was here, our fabrication yards are staying very busy. We've been bringing in rail cars of steel, so their activity is happening.
And I don't know if people can really understand really just why I get so excited about this, because when I first came here, we were in a space that wasn't quite so bad. I mean, I think you were just getting out of that position, this
Right.
position. Mr. Hoffmeyer
Right,
taking
right,
over
yes.
after you, right? So I want to get to a point where now we're thriving. Right? That's what it's about.
Very
We need to get back to
positive things are
thriving.
happening. That's
so
right.
We're going to take a break. We got to come back.
Yes.
Come on right back. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. I only got about 5 minutes, y'all. I'm about to get through this really quickly. Again, I just want to express to you why I'm so expressive when it comes to talking about our waterways and keeping them dredged. If you recall, a couple of years, not even a couple of years, some years ago,
2015.
okay, you already know. And that was when we actually did news. And so we were thriving, doing pretty good. We had two of the largest companies, I think, that, imaginable for this area.
Yeah.
Purina, who doesn't have a dog, cat, and Land O'Lakes. I just bought some Land O'Lakes butter, okay? Got some at my house today. They were coming into St. Mary. They were
Yes.
fueling up. They were
Buying groceries,
everything.
buying fuel.
That was big for our
Yes,
area. That's only
yes.
one company.
Yeah.
Or they were together.
Right.
One ship coming in, and that was a big deal. Just imagine if we can get more and more of these ships coming in on a constant basis. I want us to look like little New Orleans
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
That's why it's important, because we need to diversify. Oh, come on now. These politicians talk about diversify. This is how you do it.
That's exactly right. With the channel open, Lanika, we have shipping agents call us all the time. Can we bring this ship in this side? First of all, what's your draft? It's all about the draft. No, I can't take a 16-foot. I can't take an 18-foot. We're fixing to be able to take a 20-foot
Come
draft.
on. Come on, Bryce. Come through. I've been hearing about them keeping that waterway
The rice
open.
farmers. We've been talking to the Mike Strain,
Yes.
Secretary of Agriculture here in the state, his people. When you're going to be open? Mike, we're going to be open soon. And we are. We're going to be open for business. The channel will be open where the ships can come in and out. They can bring material in. It can be loaded on the ships. This thing with the Marine Highway through Mayrad up the Red River, they want to send products down that go out. You're going to have products coming back in. If a ship comes in to drop something off, he's going to want to put something back on there. And that's what we hope to do.
And look, I love all of the acronyms. I mean, Mayrad. But let's talk about TSA.
Yeah.
We've got Senator Kennedy's staff coming down. That's, again, maybe to look at maybe some additional money.
Funny, I already got prepared a booklet for him, and Cindy went through the booklet very careful, describing the area, what's going on. We got a picture on the front, shows the port, but the next page is the ask page for money, what we need, what we're spending right now, because it's a constant battle. Yes, we're fixing to have this channel open for the first time in over 5 years. For the first time in over 5 years, that's terrible. But it's gonna be open. The thing, and I don't want to say I got the channel open. It's coming. That's gonna happen. What about next year, the year after? You've got to. They want to know, is it reliable and consistent? That's the two things we have not been able to do. I could provide inconsistency and unreliable. We're changing that. And that's going to happen. And that old saying, rising tide lifts all boats. You get that channel open, it's going to benefit this entire area. I don't care what kind of business you're in, but it's going to help everybody.
Yes.
And I mentioned earlier, our fabrication yards are all still staying very busy out there in Amelia. It's just unbelievable the amount of business you see.
Now, when you have Senator Kennedy's folks out there, you make sure to pass by Foley
Well,
Island.
that's right. That's right.
Okay.
Foley Island, and I'm telling you, I passed by it last week when I went to go see the dredges. In fact, Nika, soon we just got to pick the right day. You need to go take a boat ride. 3 dredges running down the river, that's impossible. people probably think he must
I'll
be
take- look,
he
I'll
must
go
be on
live.
something. That ain't
No,
there's
I'm
no
going
way.
live, folks.
We
We're
have
going live
3
to show it.
dredges
Okay.
working at this time, and in fact, I get dredge reports. I get 3 reports a day now. All 3. I get a dredge report every day. The Great Lakes dredge, I noticed where it was dredging at. He moved 100,000 yards yesterday. That's a lot of material.
Last thing, we don't have Miss Cindy here. I know this is
Right.
the tonnage reports, because that's very important. Because let's talk about where we were and where we are today.
Just real quick, with the locks being closed, a lot of traffic's been going down the Shane. We used to have less than 1 million tons average a year. The last 2 years, we've been over 10 to 12 million tons. We have jumped way up on the usage as ports go.
Right.
And that's very important to get funding
That's
when they
what I
look
was
at,
gonna
are
say.
you doing anything?
There we go, and that's how we make it full circle.
Exactly,
All right.
exactly.
Thank you so much. Really,
Thank you,
really
Nika, for
appreciate you
having
coming
us.
out here. As always, this is exciting for me because that means money is coming. So the next time I talk to you, we're going to talk about some real changes that
Yep.
have taken place.
Yep.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Make sure to always subscribe to us on Facebook and on YouTube. KWJ Live. Take care.